Hey YouTube, JW. Got another installment of retro knives for you today. It's a pretty good one. It's one of my favorites. The Rizzuto Estileto Milano, which is an Italian name of, I got this little coffin thing. A guy shipped it to me with one of these knives that I bought. You've seen this one before. I said I wasn't going to do a video on it until I had a better example to show you guys. This one needs a little bit of work. You can see the blade doesn't lock up all the way. It does fire, but it's missing the finger guards. And I got this one in, which is in real good shape. It does work. Pretty good shape for being probably from, I would say, the 1960s or 70s. These knives have kind of become collector's items in the fact that they're not really very high quality knives. They're the Hollywood knife is what I call them, the Hollywood Switchblade. And they're a lot like the NATO military knives and the super automatics in that they, a lot of people who are exposed to switchblades for the first time have seen this exact model because in the 70s and 80s they used tons of these knives in the movies. And the thing about it is, a lot of these were made in Japan first, produced in Japan, and then Korea later on. And they'll bring a premium today, and like I said, they're not very high quality, but the thing about it is, because they're not very high quality, a lot of them didn't survive. So they're kind of like the NATO military knives in the fact that the nostalgia and the fact that it's hard to find them in good condition anymore because of the fact that they weren't that good. A lot of them were either destroyed or, you know, just junk by now. So, but there is a lot of them out there, and they can be had. The thing about it is, these really a lot of these were sold in Mexico. They were imported to Mexico from Japan and Korea, and sold to tourists and other people that would go down to like Tijuana and that at bazaars and shops in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. The ones you see from later on in the 80s were the Korean models. And kind of like you see the Korean Bell, which made the NATO military and super automatic knives from the same period. And a lot of those knives, that's what you would see, would be these and the NATO militaries for sale for not much money at all. Whereas I paid, actually I think I got a good price for this, considering it fires good. It's in pretty good shape. There is a difference between these two. You can see the pins on this one. It's got pins here. Same position here. There's a little bit of difference though. The slide lock handle is a little bit longer on this one. Overall, they're basically identical, other than this one is pinned differently. I'm by far an expert on the Rizzutos, but they are one of my favorites. And like I said, the Hollywood nostalgia of these is what makes them so valuable. The fact that so many of them were used in the movies, and people were just exposed to them a lot. And people want them nowadays, so it's kind of one of those deals. It's not because they're super high quality and they're great knives. It's just I think they're cool. I can remember seeing movies in the 80s when I was a kid, and seeing that swing guard and thinking, man, that's cool, you know. So I try to pick them up when I see them here and there. They normally get bid up pretty high. I've seen them go for typically you're looking at $125 on an auction site or more. And there's some websites that sell them mint condition $250, $300. So it's just a cool knife, and there's a lot of history to the knife. The name is Italian, but they're really not Italian made, Italian quality switchblades like a lot of the ones that from the same period in time. But this was kind of like just the one that everybody had in their pockets, and everybody had that you could get at a flea market for $5, $10 back in the day, and when people were young and kids, and now they want them, and the prices are up on them. So definitely cool knives, definitely a classic retro design. One of my all-time favorites. It's right up there with the NATOs and Supers for me. And thanks for watching.